Hello, and welcome to Drama Free Bitcoin, where we take the drama out of Bitcoin reporting and give you a calm and relaxed way to look at the Bitcoin space. So, yesterday I actually talked about kind of guessing that Bitcoin would go up to around 67,000 and then top out there. And it looks like that's what happened. That doesn't mean we won't go higher, but we do see that we kind of topped out at the top of this Bollinger Band. We also, if we go to the weekly chart here, there's just a lot of traffic. We see the all-time high without the wick back here in 2022. We see this huge base of traffic here. And then we see previous bottoms. And we're really just retesting here, right? So my take, going back to the daily chart here, my take is that might be it. Let's take a look at what kind of return this is. So that was about 14.5, 15% bounce off the bottom. July is usually a green month, so we see that it is green today. But it might not stay green. If I had to guess, I would say we're probably looking at maybe going sideways a little bit, testing that 67 a few more times, and then rolling over into August and September and making a new low. We'll definitely be testing these bottoms, I think, at some point, 58,000. So I don't think Bitcoin's breaking out here. But the one thing that would change that is if the market kind of want to get people excited. I've seen a few videos like Bitcoin's breaking out, Bitcoin's turning around. I just don't know if we've seen enough to get people excited or to kind of suck them back in. If we were to get back up to 80, 81, but I think there's just way too much resistance between here. We might be able to get up to 71, 72, but that would probably be the top. I really don't think we're going above 70, 71, but we might just stop at 67 here and then, like I said, go down. So let's take a look at the RSI. So we got 56.62, so we're not oversold or anything. We're kind of in the middle. I wouldn't be surprised if we just chop sideways here. We do see Bollinger Bands are compressing here, so it's kind of indecision for a little while, and then we'll break to the downside, is my guess. Let's go take a look at the weekly chart. We do have our big drop, bear flag, big drop, bear flag, big drop, bear flag. That's what I talked about yesterday. And what comes after that? Another big drop. So how far is that drop is really the question everyone's talking about. I don't think it's going to be as big as people think. We'll probably stay in the 50 to 60 range. That's kind of my take, because we have very muted top, remember, and each cycle is getting less and less volatile. So if we were to go from the top down to 50K, what would that give us? Just over 60%. That isn't huge. In the past, we've seen 80, 84 bigger drops, but I almost like this better, just seeming more reasonable. So that's kind of what we're looking at there, 50K. I think we might even see wicks down to 50K or below 50K. We might get into the 40s, but it'll be really hard to get that price unless you have market orders waiting. And yeah, so anything under 60 is a buy. If it gets below 50 into the 40s, definitely a buy. Worst case scenario, I don't know, 32 to 36, but I don't really see that. And I want to look at the monthly chart as well. So one thing we see is, again, these Bollinger Bands are interesting. When you break out of a Bollinger Band, it means you're statistically beyond what's likely. So most of the time, it just kind of bounces between the bands. And if you look at where we're at now, the bands will expand to make room, but we're at 50 as this bottom of what's possible. So again, this could start expanding to the downside and pushing the bands out, but right now the market's almost pricing in 55K. That's the bottom. So that's on the monthly chart. Sometimes it's so simple, right? You look at this monthly chart and just say, hey, okay, This makes sense. If we look at the last cycle here, big sell-off, lots of sideways, bull market. Big sell-off, lots of sideways, and then do we get another bull market from there? So we will see, but I don't think we're going to be breaking out any further than we have from here. So yeah, my take 67K right now, maybe 70, 71 at the most in this uptrend, and then we break down, retest the lows, and then finally break down below 58 and set probably what will be the new low for this bear market, probably sometime around September, October. I think we're going to see a lot of sideways action. So just dollar cost average over the summer, simple, go enjoy yourself and stop watching charts. All right, I'll see you in the next video.